Do you want the ability to do what you want, when you want, and with who you want? To me, that's what lifestyle freedom really is. Plenty of people aspire to make seven figures a year, eight figures a year, and that's great. Even with all the money in the world, though, if you don't have the flexibility, control, or freedom to do what you want on a day to day basis, what do you really have? Now, 10 years ago, the idea of making money online wasn't even on my radar. But fast forward to today, and I'm now the co founder of a tech services company where not only do I get the opportunity to help people build and launch custom apps using no code tools, but I also have a lot of lifestyle flexibility and control that comes along with that. Now, there are three specific things that helped me achieve that. And if you are looking for something similar, a balance of the income, the financial stability, combined with the flexibility and the control over your time, over your day to day life, then these three things are for you as well. Now, the first thing that put me on the path toward achieving lifestyle freedom and veering away from the typical path that most people follow throughout life was in realizing that there was actually more security in creating my own business and my own income versus relying on an employer to support me financially and pay me a salary. To be clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being an employee versus being a business owner. It really depends on your goals. But I personally found as an employee that I really wasn't happy with my lifestyle situation. I felt capped, I felt limited. But at the same time, I really struggled to take the leap in working for myself because I had never done so. It's like taking a complete 180 from everything you've grown up learning and understanding to be safe and stable. A salary is supposed to be safe and benefits are supposed to be safe, right? That's what you seek out. So taking the leap, so to speak, into self-employment was really intimidating and it felt really insecure. And everyone told me it was insecure. What if it doesn't work? What if you don't get clients? What if you don't make money? But as soon as I finally did make the leap and really just built up the confidence and knowing that, look, if it didn't work for some reason, I could either try something else or just get another job, that made it so much easier to move forward. And as soon as I did, it was like a whole other world opened up for me. I realized that with self employment, whether you're starting out as a freelancer or a consultant, or you're actually building a business, you no longer have a cap. You are no longer limited. You are no longer reliant on an employer to decide whether they want to have a certain role within their company, whether you fit into that role, how much money that role is deserving of, right? You have absolutely no control when it comes to that. You can work for a decade, and sure, you can work your way up as an employee, but imagine taking the 40 or 50 hours a week, being an employee over a decade, and working up incrementally in your role, and funneling all of that into a business that you've created. The returns you can see from that amount of work over that amount of time, I mean, they're incomparable. And again, that's not to say that one is right and the other is wrong. Both are right for different people. But if having that control, that flexibility is right for you, then understand that taking the leap into self employment, into creating your own business, that doesn't mean that you are stepping into insecurity, right? At the very least, you can always find another job because you are someone who has value, you have skills, and you can contribute those anywhere you'd like. But if you choose to contribute them towards something that you own and you can control, then the returns that you can see over the years of focusing your effort on that are honestly unimaginable. The second thing that helped achieve that lifestyle freedom is having a student's mentality. always looking to learn. Looking back many years ago, if I was ever in a group of people where they seemed to be very knowledgeable about something that I had no knowledge of whatsoever, I would feel really insecure and almost pretend like I did know what they were talking about. Now, looking back, I realized just kind of how dumb that is, to be honest, because acting in that way, letting ego get in the way, really caps your potential to learn and to grow. At this point in my life, if someone's talking about something that I don't have knowledge of, instead of feeling embarrassed or insecure about that, I just speak up about it and say, hey, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, but I'd like to learn. Now, this does a couple of things. Number one, it kind of creates a little bit of vulnerability. Not many people do that. Not many people speak out about what they don't know. But when you do speak out about it, it creates that vulnerability, which can lead to a lot of trust. And actually, the person who you're speaking to, or the people, are probably a lot more likely to get excited about helping you learn and grow. At this point in my life, I also seek out help from people who I know are a lot more knowledgeable about things that I know I need help with, right? So ego just can't get in the way if you want to grow. Grow yourself, grow your business, grow that control over your lifestyle. Look to other people for help. Let them know when you don't know something and become an absolute sponge. Now, the third and potentially most important thing that has led to a lot of lifestyle freedom is realizing that just because my goals and my aspirations don't align with those of my friends, my family, the people around me, that's okay. That doesn't mean that they're wrong. I've grown up and just lived life always feeling differently from a lot of the people around me because I set crazy big goals. I go after things that to a lot of people just don't make sense. I seek out discomfort in a lot of ways because I know it leads to growth. And while I know that the actual act of doing the thing might not be fun and exciting or even relaxing, it's going to lead to something better. To be honest, I used to be a little bit embarrassed sometimes to talk about my goals and aspirations with business or just with my lifestyle in general because it was so different from everybody else's, and I would get a lot of raised eyebrows or just kind of confused looks. Why would you seek out something that is uncomfortable when doing something that is comfortable is so incredibly much easier? But if I had let those feelings hold me back and dictate the things that I did throughout my life, then that would mean that other people were controlling my lifestyle and not me. So if your goals and your aspirations are different from those around you, maybe you're not getting a lot of support, or maybe you are, but you're just getting a lot of confused looks, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go after them at 110% every single day. Do exactly what you want because it's your life and no one else's. Here's the thing. Before I decided to pursue financial freedom, time freedom, lifestyle freedom, right? Looking back all those years when I used to be an employee, it always felt like other things were keeping me from reaching certain goals. Maybe it was an employer. I couldn't reach a certain goal because the employer set the rules. Or maybe it was because I couldn't, make a certain career move because I didn't have the right degree and therefore I just didn't have the skill set to make that move. In other words, I was always looking at reasons for why I could not do the things I wanted to do. But as soon as I took control and again took that leap into creating something of my own, it put the responsibility of achieving the result 100% on my shoulders. And doing that is a very powerful thing because you can't look at anyone else or anything else for reasons as to why you're not achieving something. It's all on you. And while that might sound like a nightmare to some people, to me, that was kind of like a breath of fresh air And you might think about that in the same way. If in building a no code app in business, you are looking for the same, you're looking for that control, that flexibility, and that freedom, then the next step from here is to head to coachingnocodeapps.com/workshop, where you can get free access to an extended workshop that's going to guide you through the steps that you need to take to become a successful app entrepreneur. So head to coachingnocodeapps.com/workshop, and we'll hope to see you there.